I'm here with the bike of Egan Bernal, probably one of the hottest talents in cycling right now. He's from Colombia. This year he's won the Tour de Romandie, he's won the Tour of California. This is his Pinarello F10 X-Light. Let's take a closer look at it. Now the F10 X-Light is the lightest frame and forks combination in Pinarello's offering, and instantly you'll notice there's no paint on it. Instead, it's a matte carbon finish. Why is that? Well, it actually saves approximately 100 grams over a painted version of the same frame. So if you are going for a lightweight bike, this is the one to choose, and it's certainly not to be sniffed at. 100 gram saving is a hell of a lot on a bicycle. Now, he is 1.74 m tall, and he's opted for a size 54 centimetre frame. But let's have a look at what he's got decorated on that frame. Now, fitted into the frame, we've got Pinarello's own proprietary seat post, and then just at the top of it, the seat clamp assembly appears to be a 3D printed titanium little number there. That's absolutely trick. I'd love to have something like that on my bike. Now, fitted inside of that saddle clamp assembly is in fact the Physique Antares with carbon braided rails, just saving a little bit of extra weight there too. Fitted to the front end of the bike then, we've got ourselves a Most F-Series Tyre aluminium stem, and at the rear of it, it does in fact have a kind of camtail or aerodynamically shaped unit to actually give a little bit of extra aerodynamics when riding along. And fitted into that stem, we've got ourselves the Most XFC carbon fibre handlebar. Now, interestingly, they are an aerodynamic bar. Fitted onto the handlebars then is Shimano Dura 9150 Di2 STI levers, controlling electronically the gearing setup. And then we've got ourselves a K-edge mount here for a GPS device. Those brake levers, well, they're paired up with a pair of Shimano Dura 9100 calipers fitted with carbon specific brake blocks. And why is that? Well, they need to stop the Shimano Dura 9100's C40 carbon fibre tubular wheels. They're shod with Continental competition 25mm Pro Limited ALX tubular tyres. Then if we look at the centre of the front wheel, down at the bottom there by the dropouts, these are called fork flaps. Now, apparently, according to Pinarello, they can reduce aerodynamic drag of the fork by up to 10% and also have a better quick release skewer and dropout interface. Derailleurs, well, they're the Shimano Dura 9150 Di2, electronic of course to match up with those levers previously talked about. Now, interestingly, on this bike, the rear derailleur is actually using the Shimano direct mount system. So it's basically got rid of one of the pivots, allowing a more precise and accurate gear change, something which has come generally from the mountain bike side of things, but we are seeing trickled into the road side. Cassette wise, that's an 1128 cassette, which is pretty much standard these days for professional cyclists. Then the chainrings, 5339, and they're fitted to a pair of 170mm cranks, which are, interestingly enough, the Shimano Dura 9100P power meter chain set. So it's a dual-sided unit to provide Bernal the exact numbers he's going to be riding to when the going gets tough, I guess. Now the pedals, they're Shimano Dura 9100 too. So what about the finishing touches on this bike then? What's different from one which you'd find in the shop? Well, first up, this bike can be run with a standard cable derailleur system set up. So Team Sky Mechanics, they've removed the inserts that you would normally find here on the frame, and instead they've replaced them with some little bits of sticky tape, I guess, really just to cover up those holes and keep it nice and smooth so the air just flows over it well. Then we've got the Di2 cable. That's shrink wrapped alongside the rear brake cable into the top tube, and that is done really neatly actually, one of the neatest I've seen so far. Down here on the hubs, there are very small little French flags, and no, these hubs aren't made in France. I think that denotes that basically these are wheels designed just for the Tour de France. They do look absolutely brand new. There's no signs of any heavy braking, any dents or scratches, anything like that on them. I think they're brand spankers. Egan Bernal, he's very lucky indeed. On the down tube, this is where the Di2 junction box is housed into a specific recessed section of the frame. Sticking with the frame, just round though onto the seat tube, if you look, there's an extra mount here. So apparently that's so you can actually move the bottle cage slightly further up the seat tube if you so wish. So if you didn't like the long reach, I guess you could call it, there to get your next bead on out, well, you could just move it up and have a little bit less time to waste, I guess, going for your bottle. Now, the bottom bracket, interestingly, is threaded still. So most manufacturers do tend to go for a push fit or a press fit style bottom bracket, but this one is actually an Italian thread. So it's very unusual these days to actually have a threaded bottom bracket on a top high-end road bike like this, let alone with an Italian thread. But I guess Italian bike, Italian thread. Bottle cages, well, they're carbon fibre, they're from Elite and they're the Legerro model. They're quite minimalistic too. In fact, looking on this bike, there is nothing added on there which you would think to yourself isn't really needed. So there's nothing for a number mount or anything like that. What about the measurements then for Bernal? Well, tip of the saddle to the centre of the bottom bracket, that's 76 centimetres. Then from the tip of the saddle, centre of the bars, 58 centimetres. And he's got a drop of 13 centimetres from the saddle to the stem. What about the weight then? Check that out, 6.84 kilos, just 40 grams over the UCI minimum weight limit. Now, let me know what you think of Egan Bernal's bike down there in the comment section down below. I think personally, it's got a really minimalistic look to it, but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it's not about me, it's about you. What do you think of it? Let me know. Now, remember as well to like and share this video with your friends so they can know all about Egan Bernal's bike too. And also remember to check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. We've got a whole heap of goodies for you, from riding clothes to casual clothes to beer glasses to towels, you name it. Hopefully we've got it. Now, for another great video, how about clicking down here for another pro bike?